What's up? What's up? What's up? We are live. We are live. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're live. Oh, hang on. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start with the theme music. How about that? What's up, chat? What's poppin'? It's your boy Will So Serious. Many of you guys might not know me. New to the stream world, new to YouTube, really new to Twitch. And I'm super excited to just give a lot of value. A lot on the tax industry, a lot on business. But today we're going to talk about these YNs because they done lost their mind. And I feel for them. And it's pretty sad what we're seeing. But what can you do and what can you say? In the meantime, DJ.
Yeah, let's run up the numbers. Yeah.
Run that theme music.
Let's run up the numbers. Yeah. Let's run up the numbers. Let's run it. 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 Let's run up the numbers. Let's run up the numbers. Let's run it. Let's run up the numbers. Let's run it. Let's run up the numbers. Let's run it. Let's run up the numbers. Let's run it.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Let's run up the numbers.
Let's run up them numbers, cause I need them commas. Yeah, I need them digits. Just keep all the drama. I put in that work. So get in this back. You
Y'all
can
can find me on Twitch. Will So Serious 10. You can find me on YouTube.
Came back from Miami. I just brought a plaza. Let's run it. Let's run it.
Let's run it. Let's run it. What they trying to do, we didn't already done it.
Around here, they call me Ben Franklin. Cause they know when I come, I'ma keep it 100. I'm getting that merch and move faster than Sonic. My numbers is lit. It isn't ironic. I fell in love with running up digits for so many years. Tried to keep it platonic. But now we just moving in waves.
Every day running them plays.
Some days feel like Draymond. Cause no, we ain't ducking no fades. Mixtape, soon as it drop, it's doing number like Blade. Put in the game in a cage, or we just set it ablaze. Yeah. Run up them numbers, let's run it. Let's run up them numbers, let's run it. Let's go. Let's run up them numbers, let's run it. 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 Let's run up the numbers, let's run it.
Shout out to Carmichael Music.
Let's run up the numbers, let's run it. Let's run up the numbers, let's run it. Let's run up the numbers, let's run it. Let's run up the numbers, let's run it.
Let's run it. Let's run up them numbers, let's run it. Let's run up them numbers, let's run it. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the stream. I got some stuff we need to get into tonight, and I promise you, if y'all stick with it or rewatch the replay, it's gonna be some gems. It's gonna be powerful. But we also gonna talk about something that's man, it's taking over headlines. This whole little situation that we have with the YNs. With the YNs. Man, let's get into it. Let's run up them numbers. Let's run it. Who ready to run up their numbers this year? Who ready to do record numbers? Record numbers. Yeah, it's about time. Record numbers. Next level, next level, next level, next level. All right. I'm excited about tonight's live stream. Earlier we had Faith Parker on our segment Built Different, and she definitely did her thing. We had a little bit of an echo, so if you guys watch the replay, sorry about that echo, but you can still get the gems and get the information out of that live. And so shout out to Faith for coming up, for pulling up. She definitely did her thing earlier today, and it was a lot of great information. So it's kind of late right now, but there's a few things I want to talk about before the night ends. And there was something super powerful that I came across earlier today that could be extremely beneficial for you as well, if you really allow yourself to receive it, okay? To receive it, but it's going to be good. Now, to start this off, everybody's talking about the Julio Fulio murder case. Is dominating the headlines. Right now, we're dealing with a situation where we got four gentlemen who has been found guilty of murder, first-degree murder. And what I did not know is that in the state of Florida, if you're found guilty of first-degree murder, then you only have two penalties that you can get. There's no in between. There's no 15 to life, 20 to life, life with parole, life without parole. There's only life without parole and the death penalty. Who knew that already? There's only life without parole and the death penalty. That's all you get. It's crazy. So now they're currently going through another trial, kind of, where the jury is now needing to decide, should we let them live but be in jail for the rest of their life? Is it worth sending them through the system for the rest of their life? Or should we just go ahead and give them the death penalty for something that was so heinous? And so they actually had the warden of a jail, a warden of a prison, come and testify on this young brother's behalf. And when I tell you, I could not believe what I heard. Crazy. All right, let's check it out.
Mr. Gathrights' age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life? Gathrights' age, physical abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy.
Listen, you know you in trouble when they are defending for you to get life in jail. Like, life in jail is the better outcome than the alternative. You know you in trouble. You know you done messed up, right? What Dollar Bill say? You know you done messed up, right? Look, he done messed up. They drove all the way from wherever they was, went to Florida, stalked the boy down, all on his Instagram, ambushed him at a party, shot his car up. It was an entire planned attack. They had ski mask on, black, all of that. So it was bogus. So at the same time, while we're looking at this, they definitely did something that they had no business doing. He was only 17 at the time, I believe they said. He's 20 now. And they have the prosecution, or I think this is his defense team, arguing on his behalf that he's young and healthy. And you have the warden of the jail coming to vouch for you. Recruit. He trying to recruit. You got the warden of the jail coming in to recruit you.
In reality, we need that labor. We need that sweat equity. And we will put them out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
My boy says sweat equity. He said, we want to get that sweat equity out of them. You know what equity is? Equity is ownership. Equity is value. They want to get some value out of your sweat. So for the YNs out there that crashing out on a regular basis, these folks should be the poster board for the crash dummies right here. Look what's happening. The warden is in there saying, hey, don't give him the needle. We could use him on those tracks over there, putting together the train tracks and putting together the license plates, and we're going to pay him 8 cents an hour. And he's going to do that for until he's 60. He's 20 now. We're going to get 40 years out of him. We have an aging population that no longer can go like they used to. So we're going to have to retire them. We need some fresh meat. And basically y'all just going to let this fresh, able-bodied gentleman go to waste to the electric chair. Let's not do that. Sad. Sad.
Damn. They don't want to kill young dudes committing crime no more. The older inmates, they're just bodies is wearing down, like the old slaves back in the day. Like they would work the slave until he just literally dropped dead, and they just throw him down the hole, and then they would procreate. See what I'm saying? So that way they can have young, strong horses out there to get on that chain gang, get some sweat equity. Sweat equity. So
slavery. It's slavery. In the Constitution, when they outlawed slavery, the only way that it was still legal and still permissible is if a person committed a crime and they were found guilty and convicted of it. They could legally go back into slavery. That law has not changed. It's still in the Constitution. And so this man is going to be a legal slave for a minimum of 30 years. For what? What did he really get out of it? Now, this is the part that kills me because everybody kind of talked about that, but this is the part that had me kind of tripping. They had the other dude who was in jail, who was at the trial, laughing like it was all sweet. Let's check that out. Bruh in there reading his newspaper. Hey, I wonder what happened today. What Trump talking about? All this. This man laughing. Bro, you on death row. You on trial too. You finna be sweat equity. See, I don't understand why you have to keep up this tough persona as if you so hard. Man, y'all really gonna try to beg for your life? Bro, what's funny? He laughing like it's funny to see them act like regular human beings. Man, we slid on them and we gotta did the crime, do the time. I understand that. But this is just, he crazy. This man in there laughing. He like, all right, well, can we just get this over with? All right, when is it over yet? Like, crazy. So these brothers, all four of them, have thrown their lives completely away. I don't think any of them are over 25 years old. And they're adios. Okay? So YNs and the old YNs, all of the YNs, please listen up close. Here's a PSA. If you don't want to be reduced to sweat equity, fall back, get out the streets, go find you something productive to do, go start you a business, go build something, create something, make something, get a product. You don't have to go to school or you don't have to go get a job. I'm not going to tell you that because that's not for everybody. Some people are natural hustlers. The money comes too slow with these jobs. And they like, man, I need to figure it out. I get it. The money does come too slow with these jobs. Every 2 weeks for most jobs. I was just talking to my cousin about this. How does gas have to be paid soon as I put it in my tank? Food has to be paid for as soon as I put it in my stomach or if I decide to take it out the store and put it in my car. How does everything else have to be paid on the spot or up front? Even rent has to be paid in advance. They don't allow you to stay the month and then pay later. There's no pay later when it comes to your rent. Yet we get paid every 2 weeks. Ain't that kind of strange to you? To me, that's wild. That's way too slow. I need my money every day. Minimum every week. Now, granted, when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes the money comes slow. You might get paid every month. You might not get paid for 3 months. But if you did the right things and you did it right, when you get paid after those 3 months, you should be set for a little while. But the fact of the matter is, depending on how you set things up, you can be getting deposits every single day. It's depending on how you set it up, not how your job decided to set it up for you. And so because how we are compensated is based on somebody else's structure, then we have to be subjected to it and accept it. But that doesn't mean it makes sense. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about something tonight. Because there is a gentleman online that I absolutely love his stuff. But I came across something today that even challenged something that I believe that he preaches and teaches and and champions, but I just feel like there's more to the story. So we're going to get into some of the specifics. I can't see any of the chats. Okay. Let's see. We're live on Twitch. Shout out to Twitch. Will So Serious 10 is the Twitch. Will So Serious for YouTube. And we're also back live on Facebook, right? Yes. Bet. All right. So let's get into it. I'm going to title this segment, Offers Are Not Enough. Offers are not enough. What do I mean by that? So there is a school of thought that says if you are able to create offers, you will never have to worry about money again. Offers are a product or service that you or your company decides to offer for a price. And if you offer that and you get someone to say yes, you have a sale, and now you have a business. Beautiful. Especially when you're looking at the fact that most people, they only have their time and their energy to offer. The only thing that you're offering to the marketplace is your time and your energy. And so your 40 hours a week has been bought by your job. You offered the time and the energy. They bought it and compensated you for it. The problem with this is if the only thing that you have to sell is your time, you're going to run out of that pretty quickly. And you have to ask yourself, what is that time really worth? Did you sell it for enough? Do you even have any negotiation power to say, well, my time is not, I'm not going to sell it for 15. I'm going to need 35. Can you even say that? Because then they're going to say, well, what are you bringing to the table for me to give you 35 for your time? So now you have to come up with a case of why your time is worth 35 and not 15. Now you're creating your own offer, because now you're giving them an offer and saying, well, I want more for my time. Unfortunately, most people don't even fight for more for their time. So that's even worse. So not only do you have no offers, but you have only thing that you are offering is your time and your energy. And on top of that, you're not even negotiating the time that you're offering. And so this is why a great deal of our population feels stuck, like Chuck, and feel like they can't get ahead, and they're frustrated, they're depressed, they're trying to do anything that they can to escape reality. Because reality, when you really look at the state that you're in, you want to find a way to escape it. The way that you do that is through entertainment, whatever the case, church, whatever it is that helps you escape reality. But then you got to go back to reality, and the reality that you in has not been resolved. You're still in a space where you're only trading your time. Tonight, before we get off this call or this stream, I'm going to show you how you can begin to resolve that problem. How you can begin to turn that reality around. How you can begin to live a life in a reality that you don't want to escape from. How about that? I want to help you live a life in a reality that you don't have to escape from. Let's get started. All right. So I want to start out by bringing up my good friend here, who I don't really know him. I seen him in passing at the what did I go to? The Russell Brunson event. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. Funnels, ClickFunnels event. Myron Golden is the guy, right? He's amazing. He's phenomenal. I have no bad things to say about him. There's some great things he's getting ready to say. This is the first part of it, but I want to dive deeper. Go ahead, take it from here, Myron.
We make offers, we take offers. We take offers, we make offers.
Started from the beginning. What do you say?
Absolutely, positively change your life financially from now on, even forevermore. Because I believe there is such a concept, such a reality, that if you will master what I'm going to talk to you about today, your life will never. What if there were a concept, an idea, a reality that could absolutely positively change your life financially from now on, even forevermore? Because I believe there is such a reality that if you will master what I'm going to talk to you about.
He said if there's an idea that can change your financial reality for the rest of your life, there's an idea that he wants to share that will help you unlock the thing that's been locked, that's been keeping us from moving forward. All right, let's give it a listen.
Today, your life will never be the same. The concept that I'm talking about is offers. The title of this video is Just Make Better Offers.
He's saying just make better offers because the offers that we're already making, they are not serving us. Now, then you get into the entrepreneurs. Now, this is where I shift from people who are mainly their mindset is, work, W-2, 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week. Now we're shifting into the individuals who are thinking about creating some type of business, service, something that solves a problem. You're in some type of niche, some type of industry. I'm in the tax industry. My offer right now currently is for people to come upon, for you to come into my 2-day intensive where we're going to train you and teach you how to become a ERO, a electronic return originator with the IRS, where you're going to submit returns to the IRS. We're going to teach you for free what that means and what earning capability you have with that. And so my offer currently allows people to get that information for free and then have an opportunity to come upon my team where you're going to be onboarded and receive even more value on how to step by step begin to recruit your first 30 to 50 partners, how to go ahead and start marketing your business, building your clientele, pouring into your team, training and teaching your team so that they're effective and productive and holding your people accountable. So all of this is part of the offer. And let's make it simple. The offer essentially is 2-day free intensive and an opportunity to become an ERO, a part of my team. I kind of gave some of the nuts and bolts that come with it, but in general, those are the offers. Okay? So we're allowing people to come into our organization and receive our tool sets, information, accountability, so that they can be successful. Okay. So, but if you're a restaurant, then your offers might be hamburgers, fries, wings, drinks. Okay. If you go to Wingstop, they got wings, different flavor wings. They got corn. They got fries. That's it. If you go to In-N-Out Burger, they have just 3 items on there that they offer. They have the different sodas. They have the burgers, double, single, double, triple, animal style. That's it, right? So what I'm saying is, what do you have to offer? What are you offering? What problem are you solving? What are you bringing to the table that allows you to make more money? Now, that's what he's saying. But I want to take it to another level, and I'll do that in a second. But let's continue to hear what he says here.
We all make offers all the time. We make offers, we take offers. We take offers, we make offers. We make offers, we take offers. I submit to you that the quality of your life is going to be determined by the quality of the offers that you make. Offers.
2 people.
Now, I don't necessarily believe that anymore. I used to believe that. He said the quality of your life is going to be directly related to the level of offers or the quality of offers that you make. And that's just not all the way the truth. And I'll tell you why. Absolutely, you need offers. But the first thing that I figured out when I created my first offer was that there's a lot that goes into this offer. That just having an offer and telling somebody about it is not even close to being enough. When I came up with the ERO Elevation Experience, which is the offer that allows people to come and join our 2-day intensive, which is a training. When I came up with this offer, offers can be free, by the way. When I came up with this offer, I didn't realize that I also needed to have a funnel attached, some automations. So when people sign up, they'll get a text message right away, get emails right away. That I needed to have a way to get people inside of the training. So I need to put together marketing stuff. I needed to do a video shoot. There's so many other pieces that go along with the offer that the offer in itself has no value without the infrastructure attached to it. So what I'm telling you is offers truly aren't enough without the infrastructure attached. Your offer has to have legs, feet, body, nose, lips, ears, and eyes, and a brain potentially before it can truly be an effective offer. It needs legs. I found this out the hard way. I created this is going to be great. You know what? Once they buy, they get in, they're ready to start with us. This is going to be great. I didn't realize that now I need to create ebooks and step-by-step guides and checklists for them and communities and trainings for them when they come in. I have to create so many legs. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at it, but what I want to be clear on tonight is that if you're not in the business of manufacturing and engineering offers, then you will never win. Ever, ever. If you're not in the business of manufacturing and engineering offers, then you cannot win this game. Making an offer is only half the battle. You have to be a top flight engineer. Look at it like this. Every company that you have ever worked for, they had a sales department, marketing department, HR. They had product quality. They had management. They had all of these systems put together. It's almost like an organism when I think about a business. So our bodies are an organism, right? We have the cardiovascular system. We have the all of the systems, right? The digestive system, the nervous system, right? All of these different systems is working together in one body to keep us strong and healthy, right? When you think about how we're made, it's a marvelous group of systems working together to allow us to do all the things that we do. A business is the same way. A business is a group of systems all working together. Now, who engineered these systems? Who's the engineer? Who decided on how the HR team should be ran? Who decided on the product development team? Who helped recruit the people? How were these things brought together? I put something on my page, I believe I put that on there today, where it talked about how someone without a degree can employ individuals with a degree. That someone without a degree can engineer the system in which you need a degree to qualify for. Someone who's never went to college has engineered and designed a system that you now have to go to college for 3 to 5 years to qualify to be a part of their system. So who really has the most value? Is it the person with the PhD or is it the engineer behind the entire system? It's the engineer. So just like you have engineers who build planes and build electronics and do so many amazing things to create. If you are trying to be financially stable in any possible way, you have to be a wealth engineer. You have to be a business architect. If you are not, you have to be a offer architect. Are we clear? If you are not a offer architect, but you're only someone who can think of good offers, those offers will never do well and have legs. The thing about architecture when it comes to business and finances is that it's never complete and it's never finished. You always are just creating, building it, letting people poke holes in it, seeing what works, going back to the drawing board, fortifying it even more, strengthening it, getting better, changing the plans if you need to based on how the market is responding. But you're constantly building it, rephasing it. If you never learn any of these things, then you're going to work for someone who did. There's no in between. Or you're going to give yourself a job, self-employed, where you now own the job so you can decide when you want to do the job. You have technically time freedom, but you don't have a system in place that will continuously get you leads. You're not able to pull yourself out of it yet. And that's okay to a degree. The goal should certainly be to where it does not rely on you. If you go to the hospital and the whole system crashes, did you actually make a really good system? Your system is exposed by concentration risk. The business is too concentrated and too relying on you. This is where key man insurance comes in. Some businesses have key man insurance. Look it up if you've never heard of it before. Key man insurance is when the key person in a business is they put insurance on them. Because if anything happens to them, everything goes down. I remember a church that I went to, they were talking about the fact that because this pastor was so big and such a major name, and they had just started building this tremendous building, that they had to get key man insurance out on him. Why? Because the entire thing is dependent on him. Now, to be honest, what was great as I watched him, get older, is how he was able to put other people in place and even transition himself out of that role, where now someone else can still carry the machine. Masterful architecture. I want y'all to hear something that really, really opened my eyes to some things. So check this out. This is a video I stumbled across, and the title says, "The wealthy, getting rich is not luck. Wealthy people design it." Wealthy people design it. It's not luck. Wealthy people design it. I want to be clear. We don't talk about money on this stream because we love money. We talk about money on this stream because it is the game that we all have to play. And so to me, I'm just breaking down the different stats and the different portions of the game so that we all can understand how to play and we can play at a high level. Capiche? All right. Okay, my air horn did one. Oh. Okay. All right, so let's watch this.
Feel like observations. They are not. They are defense mechanisms, cognitive structures the mind builds to protect. The first thing you do when you see a wealthy person is explain them away. You call it luck. You call it timing. You call it who they knew, where they were born, what doors were open to them that were closed to you. These explanations feel like observations. They are not. They are defense mechanisms, cognitive structures the mind builds to protect its current belief system from evidence that threatens it. Here is the uncomfortable implication of the luck narrative. If wealth is primarily luck, you are absolved of responsibility for your current financial.
If wealth is primarily luck, then you can immediately excuse yourself and say, well, I'm not lucky, so that's why it'll never happen to me. And this is part of the lie that is intentionally perpetuated to us so that we will never realize that there is actually a formula for it. It just has to be implemented. Implementing is not easy. Not saying that. But not knowing the formula and not implementing is a double tragedy. Knowing the formula and not implementing, it's a tragedy. But at least you know that there's a design that you could have put in place that would have helped. But not knowing at all that this isn't luck, that they are following step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Okay, try this, flip it over, do that. They have learned how to create it through steps. So it's not luck.
Position. You did not fail to design, you simply were not selected by fortune. The narrative is psychologically protective, economically paralyzing, and factually inconsistent with the observable pattern of how wealth actually behaves. Luck does not cluster. It does not repeat. It does not rebuild. After catastrophic loss, find multiple paths to the same destination, or produce recognizably similar structures in wildly different starting conditions. Wealth does all of these things consistently across generations, across geographies, across industries. That is not the signature of luck. That is the signature of a repeatable process. When they lose everything, they rebuild. When the market crashes, they reposition. When one path closes, they design another. Luck cannot explain the pattern. Design can.
Luck cannot explain how somebody can lose everything and somehow they get it all back. Luck cannot explain somebody like myself who can go bankrupt, file for bankruptcy, and pretty much get it all back within 2 years. Luck cannot explain that. It wasn't luck. It wasn't luck the first time, and it certainly isn't luck now. It's a design. It's a process. It is It is some different things. But it ain't luck. Let's continue.
Machiavelli, who spent his entire career watching power structures rise and collapse in same violence. They do not avoid fortune. They design the terrain that fortune must flow through. The lucky man waits for fortune to arrive. The designer creates the conditions in which fortune has no choice but to appear. One is a recipient. The other is an architect. The difference is not in what fortune delivers, it is in who is standing there when it does and why. Wealth is not found. It is not inherited, not stumbled upon, not delivered by favorable timing alone. It is built deliberately, structurally, through a design process that most people never learn exists.
All right, so that's really what I want to show you. Through a design process that most people never knew exists. Your offers have to go through a design process. It has to go through architecture. It has to be built. There's so much that happens in the back end. And this is for the tax pros. When you get inside of an organization, you get mentorship. You get somebody who believes in you, pushes you, connects with you, talks with you, helps you. Absolutely, that is needed. It is extremely valuable. Well, what is equally valuable is the infrastructure. What are they using to do administration? How are they bringing in new leads? How are they doing their trainings? What are they doing once people come in? How are they bringing the clients through the client journey? What does the client journey look like? What happens when they first meet a client? What is in the intake form? Once the intake form is received, then who picks it up next? What is the follow-up time frame for when they're going to talk to that client? How do they go up? Once the tax return is done, what's the process for uploading it and protecting the files? How long should they take before they follow up with that client and connect with them so that they can continue to be a client for next year? All of these things are processes and architecture. And if you're not getting that, then you're only getting half the story. You're getting the offer. I've accepted the offer. Now show me the house that I'm going to live in. Show me the house that I'm going to live in, or do I need to build my own house from scratch? Either way, you're going to need a house. And if you have to build that house from scratch, but you're not a natural builder, you're going to undoubtedly have issues in this industry, and you're going to fall off, and you're not going to want to do the business. And that's why a lot of people fall off. And not just fall off, go to another team. Some people do that. But you have others who fall off and they just say, I can't do this. Because they are told to build a house, but they were given no nails. They were given no wood. The house should really be almost pre-built. All they need to do is go and advertise it. And even with that, there should be some systems in place. And so that's what we strive to do. That is what we strive to do. We want to make it as simple as possible and give people the infrastructure. And that's why we spend ample amount of time building out every single process, including contingencies. What happened when things go bad? Are we thinking about that? What happens when things go left? Are we thinking about that? Do we have a contingency plan in place at all? What if the IRS knocks at your door? Are you ready? What if you end up having someone steal money, or you have a client who goes on and try to blast your company, do you have contingencies in place? How heavily are you thinking about contingency? In my first business, well, not my first business, but in my last business that I had, which was a car rental business, I knew things could go bad. I didn't know how bad things can go, and I did not have contingencies in place. So if I go from making $25,000 a month to now making 10, but my bills is right at 10, in some months 15. Did I have a contingency in place for that to happen? I didn't. And so now I'm reacting to the loss in income. We at 25, now we're at 10. I'm scrambling. Oh man, now I gotta sell this car, sell this. I'm liquidating all of this stuff. Just trying to get rid of it and get some cash to stay above water. Had I had a reserve ready when that went down, I would have learned how to get out of those cars that went down. I would have also had a reserve to carry me over in the months where they were down. And I would have been proactive and not reactive in the business. I know I'm giving y'all a late night business lesson, but it's what I learned through trial and error, that if you're reactive, you'll end up losing everything. And that's what happened to me. And this is exactly why I look at everything now and I say, what's the worst thing can happen? Am I prepared for the worst thing that can happen in the business? If I'm not, how can I start making the steps? So to close this live out, this stream, what's up, chat? Hope y'all getting some sauce out of it. If y'all getting some sauce, anybody who's watching the lives or watching the replay, let me just see some fire emojis. Let me know that you got something out of this at all. That the time that I spent on this stream did not go in vain, and that you got something that was impactful to you. But what I want to tell you is this, because some of us are ready to leave our jobs, quit, and, launch out into that business. I've done that before too, where I've left a good paying job and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. The last one I did that with, I did have a good thing going before I left. I did. But it wasn't built the way they need to. What I'm saying here is, before you leave your job, now listen to me very close here. You have to play two roles. You have to be a worker and an engineer at the same time. You have to be a worker and an engineer by night. If you are neglecting your engineer job, you will remain a worker for the rest of your life. If you set aside time to be an engineer, what do I mean by engineer? I'm not talking about being a structural engineer, or I'm talking about being a offer engineer, a wealth engineer, a financial engineer. You're engineering your future. You're engineering your business. You're engineering and providing systems, legs, body, feet to the offers that are going to bring you in more money and allow you to transition out of your worker role. You have to transition out of the worker role. You cannot just stop the worker role and then jump into being an engineer. You've never been an engineer before. You really don't know what it really requires. You don't understand that when you're engineering and creating these systems, there's going to be a period where it's not going to work. It's going to take some time before it really starts flowing. There's going to be some patience required before that system actually becomes a well-oiled machine. That's why you have to be a worker and an engineer at the same time until you can go and be an engineer. Unless you have somebody or some type of situation or scenario where you don't have to worry about bills. Somebody else is taking care of your bills, and you can focus on being a full-time engineer, engineering on that product that you got, the business idea, putting the right systems in place that makes sure that this thing is a well-oiled machine. It has every step in the process. Offers are not enough. You have to become an offer engineer in your downtime. I say if you go hard, I'm going to say within maybe 2 or 3 years, you'll be in a place where you could potentially transition out if you want. If you work for a good company, stick with it. But as someone in the tax industry, you can easily be an engineer as well as work your role. Now, here's where you really don't want to have a role that's going to take over your life. There are certain roles at certain companies. Most of the companies, they want to get all your time and energy. They want it all. They want to suck the life out of you, right? By the time you get home, you're tired. But there's other roles that they're mentally draining. There's just so much that goes in to that job that when you go in the morning, when Monday morning starts, you just like, oh, Lord, give me the strength to make it through. It's mentally draining. It's mentally taxing. It's not only physically taxing and time consuming, but it also drains you when you get home. You're still thinking about work. You're talking to your spouse and your girlfriend and your homies about work after work. You're taking the work home. If you have a job like that, there's no way you can also be an engineer and have a job like that. That job has now consumed your entire existence, and you no longer have space to build, which means you'll never be free, unfortunately. So that's what it requires. It requires structure. So when they say, put one brick on something every single day, you come back, put another brick on it, you come back, put another brick on it. And if you do that for 365 days out of the year, you would have built half a house by the time the end of the year comes. It's true. But what does it mean to put that brick on there? It means, okay, now let's put this email sequence in there. Okay, boom, that's cool. Now let's put this text sequence in there. Boom. Now let's create this website that has all these things. Boom. Now let's create some customer support. Boom, boom. Your building is getting so many new things that makes it run better and solve the problem easier for the customer. Give them a better experience and create more value for your business. That is what you should be building. Because unfortunately, the time and the energy that you're putting on the worker side, which I don't have any, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I also think that the return on investment is just not there. It's just not there. All right. So as we close, offers are not enough. You have to become an offer architect. All right. So that is a new concept. We'll talk more on it. I'm tired. I went on a trip Sunday night, and I went to Missouri. I had no business out there. I went to Missouri. I drove 10 hours, and I was doing a medical carrier run. And so I've done medical carrier in the past, and I haven't really taken any jobs for a while, but they hit me up and they asked me to do this one, and I wanted to salvage the relationship. While on the road, I understood that their architecture that they've created allowed them to reach out to me and say, hey, we have a job for you. Do you want to make X amount? And you can take this role, take this job. This was cold too. Because when they sent me the details for the pay, I felt very offended. Are y'all to drive 10 and a half hours? This is what y'all trying to offer me? Stop playing. Stop playing. Y'all playing, right? Stop playing. But they were in the position of power. This is their system that they've created. I'm only a pawn in the midst of their board. I'm helping them move the pieces up the board. But they own the board. But me being me, I'm like, well, look, I thought this number would probably make more sense. This other number, I can't do it for that. But this number, maybe. Then all of a sudden they can quickly, oh, you know what? We can do it for that number. That's no problem. Y'all could have did it for that number in the first place. Okay? So it showed me that a couple things, that this was a system that they created that created value for whoever was going to pick this package up, who was willing to pay at least double what I'm getting paid to bring it to them. Right? And so it's architecture, right? And it told me that, boom, they just got paid half, at least they just got paid from my trip, and they probably got paid for another person's trip and and they could have got paid for 6 to 10 people's trip that day, while I only got paid for one. And the reason is because I decided that my role was going to be to take single trips, and their role was going to be to architect, set up multiple trips. They engineered multiple trips and send us out to also take the risk of being on the road for 10 hours. And I did it because I'm like, okay, it wasn't, a small amount of money. It was decent. I got trips coming up, boom, boom. I could use that money towards some of the trips I have going on. I don't have to use my own money. I can use theirs. I like using other people's money. Makes me feel better. But I also had to think about the risk. Being on the road, 10 hours there, 10 hours back, 20 hours. Right? There's a lot of risk that comes in that. While they're taking basically no risk, sitting behind their computer, orchestrating and passing on the risk. Cold. Look, see, listen. You got to understand, this game, it's a beautiful game. Once you understand what's going on. Even as someone who was a player in their game while they were the owner and orchestrating it, I was still able to recognize game and see what's going on. So anyway, I'll end it there. That is why each of us, we have to be engineering something. It's not enough to work, and it's not enough to have an offer. You have to be an offer engineer. With that being said, it's your boy Will Jennings. I hope y'all got something tonight. Will's so serious. Serious about life. Never take life too serious. It's been an honor and a pleasure. We're going to catch y'all on the next stream. Peace out. Much love.